Hello, sports fans, and welcome to the Scott Sports 101 Thursday Night Football Week 5 pregame and update show. We have a good AFC South matchup going on tonight. It's the Buccaneers and the Falcons at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. It's 10-7 right now. Second quarter just getting underway. It's a first and 10 at the Atlanta 44, and the Falcons have the ball. And I'll talk about what I feel is going to happen in tonight's game and what we expect to happen. We'll get to all that, but first, here is today's Scott Sports 101 Week 5 Thursday Night Football trivia question. It's the Buccaneers trivia question. Who was the first Tampa Bay Buccaneer in the Pro Football Hall of Fame? And I'll have the answer later in the podcast. It's Thursday Night Football Week 5. We have a great NFC South matchup for you tonight. What's going on right now? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Atlanta Falcons are battling it out at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia. The Buccaneers looked dominant during their 33-16 win against Philadelphia in Week 4 last week, jumping out to a 24-0 lead halfway through the second quarter. Meanwhile, the Atlanta Falcons won an NFC South divisional bout at home against the New Orleans Saints during Week 4 last week, scoring 2 defensive touchdowns and converting a walk field goal to grab a 26-24 victory to improve to 2-2. Baker Mayfield has had a strong start to his 2024 campaign, falling short only once against a stingy Broncos pass defense in Week 3. Kirk Cousins has left a bit to be desired for the Falcons, although he did steal a win on the road against the Eagles thanks to Cousins' late execution on the final play in Week 2. And we are in store for a very competitive matchup between these two teams tonight. And Kirk Cousins and the Atlanta Falcons have struggled in the red zone, this season, settling for field goals, or committing turnovers for forcing their defense to carry the load. The Falcons' pass defense is its strength, led by safeties Justin Simmons and Jesse Bates, while allowing at least 128 rushing yards in all 4 games. And Baker Mayfield starting off pretty good this season, and he's really had some success. I want to read you the preview right now because the Falcons had big plans for their offense when they decided to invest heavily in quarterback Kirk Cousins and new coach Raheem Morris and offensive coordinator Zach Robinson. The widespread belief they only needed an established quarterback and a fresh game plan to utilize the playmakers added in the first rounds of recent drafts. Tight end Kyle Pitts, wide receiver Drake London, and running back Bijan Robinson entering Thursday night's visit from NFC South leader Tampa Bay, who is 3-1. The Atlanta offense has yet to find momentum. The Falcons are 2-2, have shown flashes of promise as Cousins has led 2-game winning drives. But the veteran hasn't matched the production of Tampa Bay quarterback Baker Mayfield, who, incidentally, I forgot to mention, was my player of the week for last week. So I give him player of the week, Baker Mayfield, for last week for that dominant performance and the touchdowns he scored. Mayfield has led. Quarterback Baker Mayfield has led the Buccaneers to the top of the division. The most recent evidence of mixed results came Sunday in the Falcons' 26-24 win over New Orleans. Atlanta won despite scoring an offensive touchdown while Pitts was held without a catch. Bijan Robinson ran for only 28 yards. Morris said he'll take the win and let others fret about the numbers. Ready for me stats are for losers. Really, for me, stats are for losers. Excuse me. Morris said after the game. Uh, Morris and Robinson acknowledged improvement must come, and the offense can't always rely on the defense and special teams to produce the points. Here we reached our peak of what you want to play and how you can be the best. Uh, Morris asked on Monday. Uh, on Monday. Uh, no, but I think that's a part of what the season is. I think that's a part of steady improvement, steady growth, and I love that about our football team. And I agree wholeheartedly with that. I think we know that. I think we know that. I think they know that. I think they know that. And I think we're really comfortable in being able to go out there and win football games however we can. Mayfield threw for 2 touchdowns and ran for a score on Sunday's 33-16 victory over the Eagles, and that's why he's my player of the week for those 2 touchdowns that he threw for. And Mayfield passed for 8 touchdowns with 2 interceptions. Cousins, who signed a 4-year, $180 million deal as a free agent, has 4 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. Wide receiver Mike Evans became the Buccaneers' career scoring leader last week. Evans is only one part in a passing game that also features wide receiver Chris Godwin, and then promoted Sterling Shepard from the practice squad as another option for Mayfield. I think that it really makes it difficult for the defense. Godwin said, excuse me. It's one thing when a guy is off because you feed the hot hand, right? But if we're able to spread the ball around uh, that much, everybody gets involved. You can mix it. You can mix in your quick game, your deep passing game, and play action screens. The Bucks have won the past 3 NFC South titles. This is their fourth 3-1 start in the past 5 years. They've also been successful against Atlanta lately, winning 6 of the past 8 meetings between the division rivals, outscoring the Falcons by 51 points in those games. The Falcons committed 9 penalties for 76 yards on Sunday and already have 30 penalties for the season. We can't have those, Zach Robinson said Tuesday. There are certain situations we're trying to avoid, and obviously it's at the discretion of the refs to call those, and you got to just keep playing, and so those have to be tough. Mayfield is off to a solid start after uh, re- resurrecting a stalled career in 2023 and signing a 3-year, $100 million contract to remain in Tampa Bay. The number one overall pick from the 2018 draft is coming off throwing for 347 yards and 2 touchdowns without an interception in last Sunday's 33-16 rout of the Philadelphia Eagles. He also ran for a TD. And so, yeah, he is my player of the week from week 4 last week, Baker Mayfield. He enters Thursday night with a 106 passer rating that ranks 4th in the NFL. He's 2nd in TD passes and 8th and 4th in passing yards, 984. Excuse me. Zach Robinson says more offensive consistency is close because there's been games where we've executed really well. We're trying to find that mix to where we know we're close to getting over the hump with some things, and our guys, they're eager. Robinson said, they want to be the most explosive offense and the best offense in the NFL. Godwin attributes some of Mayfield's success to the comfort level that comes with being with the same team for a second season. And yes, this is our first year in this offensive system, but it's his second year with this group of guys, and I think the camaraderie that we built last year really helped. Godwin said, and I think the adversity that we faced when we all stuck together, I think that really helps this year. Godwin added, and I think it's just a natural uh, narration process just for him as a player. And so, yeah, that's what they say in the preview. And I really expect Baker Mayfield to have a big game tonight in tonight's game. So we'll talk more about this in a moment. But right now, it's time to reveal the answer to today's Scott Sports 101 Thursday Night Football Week 4 trivia question. Who was the first Tampa Bay Buccaneer in the Pro Football Hall of Fame? If you said Leroy Selman, you are correct. The six-time Pro Bowler's jersey was retired on September 6th, 1986. I'll have another trivia question on my next podcast, which will be my Scott Sports 101, the Browns NFL early games post-game show on Sunday, so stay tuned for that. Now, we're in the second quarter. I'm going to let you know what happened in the first quarter. The Falcons scored their first touchdown of the game. Kirk Cousins passed short to Drake London for the 18-yard score. Cruz extra point is good, and it's 7-0 Atlanta. But Tampa Bay answered, and they scored their first touchdown of the game. Baker Mayfield's pass short middle to Mike Evans for the 2-yard score. Chase McLaughlin's extra point is good, tied up at 7, and Atlanta was a 4th and 14. They had a penalty. A 46-yard field goal is no good, wide left. It was Senator McCullough, Brian Holder, I think it was Pinion. Penalty on Tampa Bay Hayes and defensive offside, 5 yards and force it. The Tampa Bay 28 for no play. And then 4th and 9 at the Tampa Bay 23. Cruz 41-yard field goal is no good. It went wide left, and it remains tied at 7. And then uh, it was a 4 and 3 at the Atlanta 35. Chase McLaughlin's 53-yard field goal is good. It was 10-7 Tampa Bay. And then just before the first quarter wrapped up, Kirk Cousins pass deep left. It was 3-13 at the Tampa Bay 24. Kirk Cousins deep middle to Mooney for the 24-yard touchdown. And Cruz extra point is good, and it's 14-7 Atlanta, 14-10 Atlanta. 2nd and 11 in the Atlanta, and Atlanta, Tampa Bay has the ball. And the current drive is was 1st and 10 at the Atlanta 22. Rahandre White into the Atlanta 23 for a -1 yard. And that's basically where we stand right now. And yeah, so it's a second and a quarter 11, second 11 in Atlanta. I think it's at the Atlanta 22, I believe. And the extra point was good. It was a touchdown to Mike Evans for a 23-yard touchdown. They just scored a touchdown, and it's now 16 14. We'll see if the extra point, that's an extra point attempt. So I'm waiting to see if that's going to come up, and it's going to be good. Uh, I gotta see. I'm waiting for it to come in. I do expect Atlanta to really come out and play right. It was good. Chase McLaughlин's extra point was good. And it's now 17-14 Tampa Bay. 10-17 left to go in the second quarter. Tampa Bay about to kick off. But I expect Tampa Bay, both these teams, to really play competitive ball and really make it a really close game as it is right now. And I think I'm going with Tampa Bay for this game, and I think my brother-in-law is too, but we'll see. I don't know yet. So right now, I'm going with Tampa Bay, and so just expect them to have a big game. They're about to kick off, and and just expect a great game from these two teams. That's just about. Going to wrap it up for the Scott Sports 101 Thursday Night Football pregame update show. I'll be back with the Scott Sports 101 Thursday Night Football postgame show once the game between the Buccaneers and the Falcons has concluded. But until then, always remember, be a team player each and every day in every way possible. So long, everybody. 3, 2, 1. I'm done.